Welcome to our Glory Globe TV viewers. Breaking news. Yes, board. Yeah, voters have administered some profound shocks to the world's stability this past year, but nothing like what we can expect in 2024. Next year, countries with more than half the world's population will hold elections, as the Economist noted. More than 4 billion people live in the countries that will be voting. Yes, we have seen over the past 2 years chronicling the world's elections patterns, at times chilling, have emerged across every continent. It has become all too easy for electorates simply to reject long-standing liberal philosophies or enforce any brash promises held out by extremes, often from the populist far right. And the prospects for dramatic change are only intensifying. The momentous elections year kicks off with Bangladesh in January. Already there have been anti-government demonstrations sparked by the main opposition Bangladesh Nationalist Party, whose top leaders are jailed or exiled. The BNP has threatened to boycott the polls if Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina does not resign and hand power to a caretaker government ahead of the general elections. Hasina is likely to continue her iron-fisted rule for 15 years. In February, the world's two most populous Muslim nations, Pakistan and Indonesia, have elections within a week of each other. Pakistan will hold its first general election since popular but divisive former Prime Minister Imran Khan was removed on corruption charges. He denies all wrongdoing. Though not a candidate, Khan is still the driving force behind his political party. Indonesia will hold the world's largest single-day election shortly after featuring more than 200 million voters in the country and 1.75 million Indonesian diaspora. Though voters are likely to loosen the grips and power of wealthy business and military elites. Elsewhere, South Africa will hold perhaps the most epiphenal election in Africa, certainly in its troubled post-Nelson Mandela period. When South Africans went to the polls in municipal elections 2 years ago, Mandela's African National Congress party won fewer than 50% of the vote for the first time, with voters dismayed by the disarray and corruption that have marked too much of its 30-year hold on power. If that downward trend continues at the 2024 general election, it will be a defining moment in South Africa's political history. Looking to Europe, there will be 9 parliamentary elections where one of the biggest challenges for incoming governments will be finding coalition partners to form majorities. Keep an eye on Portugal's snap election on March. It follows a corruption investigation that forced out the country's socialist prime minister after 8 years in office and could herald a swing to the far right Chega Enough party. Equally, the right seems poised for a big gains in Austria's election due by fall. Also, due by the end of January 2025 is the United Kingdom's general election, meaning we can expect to see British voters likely hitting to the polls at the tail end of 2024 and could even see a return of the Labour Party to power after 40 years of conservative rule. Turning to Latin America, Mexico is set to get its first woman president, as two are on the ballot for the main parties in June's election, where drugs, crime and migration to the US are at the top of the political agenda. Elsewhere, Venezuela's widely unpredictable nationalist leader Nicolas Maduro will seek a new mandate with the stakes including a broader battle with neighboring Guyana over all rights. Russia too in election, India in April and May. Turning the world's most populous nation from a vibrant democracy into a Hindu nationalist state, approaching the theocracy or the tax for India in this election is expected to be held over several weeks in April and May. Prime Minister Narendra Modi devoted his first term to cementing an underlying Hindu nationalism out in the cold are the nation's roughly 200 million Muslims and 28 million Christians. There are fears and anticipated Modi victory would allow him to complete what he sees as a central element of his mission. Next month, Modi will inaugurate a sprawling Hindu temple rising on the ashes of an old mosque site, a symbolic affirmation of domains for Modi and all of India's Hindus. How does the United States deal with such an individual, central to the developing world and at the same time an important trading partner, a counterweight to Pakistan and its lean towards Russia and China, and a strategic bulwark against unchecked Chinese expansion in the Pacific? Behind the report, Glory Globe TV, Delhi, Bharat.